if you try to stay up to date with AI video platforms, maybe you notice that there's really something like a jungle out there, and it's really hard to figure out which tool is the best for which use case. I actually go to a lot of networking events, and I was really happy to find some of them in Berlin and to be able to talk to some people who invented some of those tools. One of the tools that actually blew my mind was a tool called Popcorn, a video platform where you actually can generate a full movie or a short movie out of one sentence. And here with me in this podcast, and actually our first English episode of this podcast, is the founder of Popcorn. Before we jump right into Popcorn, can you please tell us something about you? Who's the guy behind Popcorn?
I'm a game developer turned entrepreneur. I did the Matrix game back in the day for the Warner Brothers movie. Elf Yourself, with over 2 billion elves created, really went down the user-generated media rabbit hole. Did YouNow live streaming, which was the first major mobile live streaming in the West, top grossing app in the social category. And the world's first online karaoke sold to Fox MySpace. So the background of the team and my background is in building consumer networks at scale. We are extremely passionate to enable non-professionals, regular users, to express themselves through media. And Popcorn is just the next step in enabling people to express themselves through media. And it's really a nuclear power in many ways, because it's easier to actually create with a machine than any other technology previously. And the output, the quality is much higher. So it's this unique time in history where so many more people will be able to take advantage of video communication. Imagine video is the most dominant communication and most popular communication method in the history of the world. Yet only 5 to 6% of people are versatile and able to effectively communicate and make stories, edit videos, etc. Now there's an opportunity really for that delta for everyone to leverage video, and that's what we are doing with Popcorn.
I see the Matrix video game here and Elf Yourself. Can you tell us a bit more about those projects?
I'm going to date myself. I started doing interactive videos in the mid-90s. This was when you would still use laser discs to program interactive video. Very excited from very early on to allow people to interact with video and creating games. The Matrix game was one of the early games that I created. Elf Yourself was back in, I think, 2005, 2006 that we created it. My brother still runs it every Christmas, Elf Yourself. YouNow live streaming was just as soon as the mobile phones were strong enough and Wi-Fi and cellular signals were strong enough, people could communicate by just broadcasting themselves. So that became very big. And so at every opportunity, really using the latest technology to enable folks to express themselves.
It's kind of funny. It's like driving through history of a lot of different approaches of using technology of its time. So I think we're ready now for some Popcorn demo. So can you show us what the tool actually does?
Yes, so we don't call it a tool. It's a consumer network. A tool is just part of it, and maybe we start by looking at how do people create. The idea is that it takes any link, any concept, any idea, any dream, and turns it into a movie. Here's a simple example.
Your attempts at righteousness unconducive as your hair.
Fake news, I'm the best Christian, the most Christian ever. I love Jesus more than you love yourself.
Enough of this farce. I demand the test of truth. Bring forth your lie, the better.
So again, you put any concept, and why don't we make a movie right now? Markus, you can give me an idea. We'll put it in, and it will bake in the background, and we'll play it later in the podcast.
Okay, so good idea. So what about some reptiloid aliens who make a plan to run the world in a secret military bunker in a casino in Las Vegas. By the way, I really like the idea that Jesus had an accent in this video. So
Be a bug.
yeah.
They are able to observe everyone through their secret cameras. I'm adding this just so that the action will be not just in the bunker. Yes.
I got another idea. So I think they should have dinner, and in the middle there's a human being on the table. So I also want to see how violence and youth protection works here. So is it possible that they are eating someone who's in the middle of the table?
I think that if you ask it to eat someone, the moderation will probably interfere and they will destroy the movie. But maybe they are eating something else that's not a someone.
Okay, I see. I mean, today I tried it with dinosaurs. This was fine. So okay, let's they should eat the dinosaur. Let's do it like this. I mean, they are reptilian aliens. I think they're capable to do.
Dinosaur for dinner. How about that? Okay.
Yeah. I would accept this.
Okay. So let's make it 45 seconds. Is that okay?
Sure.
And let's choose a style. Which style would you like it to be in?
I mean, cinematic sounds kind of attractive here. So is there anything? Oh, let's do the film noir. Let's do the film noir.
Film noir. Here we go. Okay. And let's give it a good quality. And okay, so right now, as it's making the movie, it's going to give it a title. It's going to break it down into a script, into a storyboard. It will record the videos. It will break down the characters, give them voices, lip sync, etc., and then actually edit the movie and present it to us. You already see that it has a working title. And maybe as we wait, let's look at what happens once the movie is ready. We can then direct the action, like so.
Work was suffocating me. Needed to breathe again, you know?
She doesn't see there is a tsunami coming.
So by simply talking to the vibe agent, you can direct the movie as opposed to edit a movie, which is a much more technical, detailed, tactical matter. Let's look at a little bit more directing.
Every day at 3 o'clock, the game begins.
Change the dialogue here.
Always remember to accept a change request.
Woof! There you are, little buddy!
Oh boy, here we go again.
The eternal chase begins anew.
Make this a shot of the dog chasing the bunny.
Today's the day I catch you.
You wish, Max, I'm way too fast.
Make this a shot of the bunny knighting.
Almost got you.
And you can control, of course, the styles. You can speak to the agent, and the agent will produce it in any style or camera action.
Zoom in. Hunter says, is someone out there?
Is someone out there?
Make it anime.
Is someone out there?
Make it 3D.
Is someone out there?
Make it LA Noir.
Is someone out there?
Now you can also create characters and establish their knowledge, like in this clip.
Greetings, comrades. What's my favorite movie genre?
Class action movies.
And once you've created the character and assigned knowledge to it, you can tag it for your own movies, so you have consistency within your shots and scenes, but also between movies. If I am making a series with the same characters, I can make multiple movies by just tagging them, and even give your friends the ability to tag. So if you create a superhero that I like, I tag it. If you approve it, now we are collaborating and we can use the same characters together.
You can then summon your created characters into any movie.
Abraham Lincoln rides into the scene.
and compose the soundtrack.
Make the music more intense.
And of course, the agent is conceptualizing any idea. The conceptualization can include dynamic information. For example, make a parody about the top news on CNN right now, or have Jesus Christ tell us about today's crypto news. So it will do the research and the conceptualization at one go within minutes and deliver the movie.
Pepe moved 11.35 trillion tokens in early June. Whales playing with your hopes. Such greed. Yet you worship these digital golden calves. The Trump coin delayed its unlock, fearing collapse, then sold exclusive dinners. Turning fellowship into commerce. How far you've...
And here we can see Karl Marx with his knowledge.
Shit, Bitcoin just smashed $92,000. We're in uncharted territory.
Bitcoin? What devilry have the bourgeoisie conjured now?
As digital currency soared, Marx found himself thrust into the heart of hypercapitalism.
This is not the revolution I had in mind.
So of course, somebody else would react to Bitcoin news very differently than, the father of communism. And we're all about community. We are building a consumer network. And so everything is created as objects that people can share, tag every shot, every scene, every prop, etc., etc. This is probably a good time to check into our Vegas movie. What do we see? We see that it is a sci-fi. It's in English. It has one scene. I guess it's all going to happen inside the bunker. It has 11 shots. It has 4 characters. Here we can see Zirk, one of the characters. And so this is baking as we speak.
Who's actually creating this interpretation of Karl Marx, and how does it come from? I mean, if you take a historical figure who actually lived, and you interpret him as something like an artificial figure and character, you have to make a decision how you want to portray this character. So what's behind? What's going on? And what's the AI doing here to make a decision how he looks, for example? If he has an angry grin or something on his face when he's talking about Bitcoin, how does it work?
It's a good question. So I created Karl Marx, and I uploaded the PDFs of his speeches. And now he is a character that effectively the LLM can refer to. Now, if I am now prompting and I say, @Karl Marx reacts to today's crypto news, what is happening? We have what we call story technology. The story technology is our own fine-tuned model that knows how to tell stories. And it is doing 2 things. It is going to research today's crypto news and bring back information. In this case, that it is some coin and some Trump coin and whatever it is, and the price of Bitcoin. And then it's going to say, okay, what is the story? The story is Karl Marx reacting. What do I know about Karl Marx? Karl Marx comes with his own personality, with his own knowledge, with his own accent, with his own voice, etc., etc. I marry the two in order to create a story with a beginning, middle, and end between the data that I brought in, between Karl Marx's personality, and the LLM is conceptualizing it through our story tech. Then it breaks it down into shots, then it makes a storyboard with images, then it takes those images and runs them through video. If there are characters, it does the lip sync, the dialogue, etc. And that is the technology that knows how to take a prompt and turn it into a screenplay, but also knows how to take the screenplay and produce it for the screen. And the agent is a robot that can do that. And it gets better and better at making movies the more movies it makes, because it learns and fine-tunes.
Okay, so there's also like a reinforced learning from human feedback process integrated. So is there any chance to actually give feedback about good or not so good creations, or does it just use the chat? So does it understand, okay, the user is trying to improve a scene like 5 times. Now I have to take a completely different approach to generate something, or how does the feedback work here?
Yes. So let's look at an example of the feedback. It's a great question. I'm glad we're diving deep. Oh, by the way, when I was playing the audios before, could you hear it well? Because I forgot to click the share sound.
Yeah, it's on pretty well. Yeah.
Okay. So here you can see I created the Return to Eden movie. It's a minute and a half movie, and it's comprised of these scenes and these shots inside the scenes. I can click on any of the shots, and I can say, okay, you know what? This shot is great. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Right here, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. This gives us good feedback. Or I can click on a shot and give a thumbs down, at which point it's asking me how I can improve it. So the users are helping us fine-tune it, and we're very excited about this data. As a matter of fact, we need more of this data. We're probably going to incentivize users to give good feedback with some popcorn credits.
Okay, you actually earn credits by giving feedback.
Not yet, but we should do it, and we will probably do it soon.
That's a really good idea. That's really smart. That's just like me telling everybody who is listening this episode so far to just subscribe to the channel and maybe to like the video. And if you have some questions, to hit the comment section below. Thanks. Okay, continue, please.
Yeah, let's check in on your movie. Here is the underground empire. It's being created in front of our eyes. You can see the shots here. You can see the characters. Here are the characters. I can click on any of the characters and change their personality, change their voice, add their knowledge, record a custom voice for them, etc. I can talk to the chat here and tell him to be different, taller, fatter, bigger, etc. You see the props, you see the sets, you see the soundtrack. So basically a full breakdown is happening right now in front of our eyes. And, as we wait for this, I would love to show you an example of some finished product, so to speak. And I started by telling you that my daughter asked me, Daddy, how was Elsa, the Disney princess, created? And I told her, let's ask Elsa. But the prompt really was, Elsa hosts a documentary about her creators. That's it. That was the prompt. Elsa hosts it. And this is what we got. Let's play maybe a minute of it.
Prepare to uncover the magic behind my creation. I'm Elsa, and today we'll meet the visionaries who breathed life into my story. It all began with a spark of imagination.
In 2011, Disney's creative minds embarked on a daring journey. Their mission, to reimagine Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen.
But how did I transform from that icy tale? Elsa wasn't always the complex hero you know today. Initially, she was conceived as the film's villain. Can you believe it? A villain? Now that's a plot twist I didn't see coming. So what thawed my icy exterior and warmed my heart? Let's hear from the musical mastermind Robert Lopez.
The game changer that came when we penned Let It Go. It unlocked Elsa's vulnerability.
So she goes on and interviews the different creators, the animator and the set designer and the singer. Fascinating, all from a single prompt. My 6-year-old daughter was ecstatic to learn it from Elsa.
Okay, but how accurate is it actually? So is it really the story? Wow. So is it like, okay, you have an LLM in the background, like doing the research and transferring the information into the video creation?
In real time, the conceptualization of the story and the research are happening together. If it needs to do research, it does the research. If it doesn't need to do research, because the information already exists in the LLM, like who is Winston Churchill, the LLM knows that, then it just proceeds.
So in theory, it would be possible to use it in education, for example. You could actually make a school book, a history book, and take it and turn it into a movie to learn from video. Would it
I want to show you another example exactly about that. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This one is really, really interesting. So I'm Israeli. I live in Los Angeles, but when the war started between Israel and Iran, I was curious about the Israeli nuclear arsenal. And so I said to Popcorn, make a documentary about this link. And the link was, the Wikipedia entry. So you asked about educational. Let's see what came out by me just asking about a documentary about this topic.
In the heart of the Middle East lies one of the world's most carefully guarded secrets. For over 6 decades, Israel has maintained nuclear ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying what lies beneath. It began in 1958, deep in the Negev desert. The Negev Nuclear Research Center, disguised as a textile factory built with French help.
Our nation's survival depends on this partnership.
France understands our unique circumstances.
We must be ready for any threat.
The reactor serves peaceful purposes naturally.
December 1960, American intelligence discovered the truth. Reconnaissance revealed construction far beyond textiles. Ben-Gurion admitted it was a research reactor.
And it goes on and on. You get the idea. This is all from one prompt.
I just wonder, at the moment, it's kind of stylized, We see that what we see is not reality. So, but I wonder if the video model, improves. Could there be a point where we see something like a photorealistic alternative reality that looks like real movie scenes, for example, or real footage shot from a documentary or something, but it's artificial? So how can you make sure that this is not the starting point of creating something like a alternative reality?
The technology is moving so fast and will indeed be in a place where it will be hard to distinct between what is real and what is not. And I think that we as society and we as technologists need to be part of the solution, which is to properly label, to have content, ID tools that can inform the public and consumers and be on the right side of ethical and moral behavior as a society and as professionals. Will there be bad actors? For sure. And we all know that there's already a lot of fake news and whatnot. The fact that there is a historical documentation about events that happened hundreds of years ago and thousands of years ago, and now they can be potentially dramatized and brought to life for educational purposes, it's fascinating. Can the same technology also cause issues? Yes. And I think that it's our responsibility to do our best to work on the right side of it.
To label it is one option, and I think we have to create some awareness around this topic. I mean, also to just discuss this whole thing and also see the evolution of all these tools, or however you want to call it, of all the platforms, is kind of a way to really understand what's going on and to keep track of this whole evolution, I think this is all we can do at the moment, but the chances with this are huge. So I see so many potential also to use it in a really good way, also to educate people. So let's see what will happen. Yeah. Can you tell me what's going on with our reptiloid alien movie? Are there any news in the generation process?
So right now, it looks like it is still processing. It is processed 11 out of the 13 shots. We can go in here and look at some of the dialogue that has come in. We can decide to change the dialogue. Who is speaking? Is it this character or that character? Is it on screen or off screen? We have full control over everything. We can start watching some of the shots if we'd like to. But if we wait a minute or two, it will probably be ready and we can just watch the whole thing.
We can wait for a minute and I can entertain you with some uncomfortable questions. What do you think about this?
I love it. Please hit me up.
Perfect. So when we are watching the documentary about Frozen, I wondered how you deal with the copyright issues. This is something people always ask me in workshops, and I always try to to also emphasize the difference between the German understanding of Urheberrecht and Nutzungsrecht. So Urheberrecht is something what's actually created once you just create an artwork, and the Nutzungsrecht, like the usage rights, is something you can give to someone else. You can actually sell, make a contract about it, and so on. And I know that the American system with the copyright system is a bit different. It's more about also companies earning the rights. It's less about the idea of protecting the artist. It's a bit more about the commercial use cases you have with certain work. But I wonder if you have something specific like these Frozen characters who are actually like the original Disney characters. It's Disney, right? Yeah, Disney characters. So how do you deal with it?
So first of all, we are in beta and we don't have all the safeguards in place yet. So that's just to put it out there, and it is our responsibility to put the safeguards, and we are working on that. The second thing is that we are orchestrators and integrators. So we use OpenAI for images, we use Kling and VO3, et cetera, and those large models have their own protections, which is good. And so they may not return an IP characters, even if the user asks for it. So there's already some safeguards in place. Then there's also, an interpretation of, or not interpretation, then there's also the law and the rules around IP. For example, you can make a parody about public figures. You're allowed to use Donald Trump in order to make fun of Donald Trump in your parody. You are not allowed to use Donald Trump to sell your pizza shop. Because that's not a parody. You are using his image in order to get commercial gain. And the LLM, the agent, the story tech that we have developed can actually know the law and understand the intent and allow the parody to proceed while not allowing the commercial Donald Trump is vouching for my pizza shop. So AI is actually beautiful that way because you can teach it and it can respond in a very elegant way to the user and say, actually, I'm sorry, I can't do this, but maybe you would like to do this.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I also noticed that, for example, creating images of Donald Trump or other characters, sometimes it also gets blocked by some AI models, But in this case, it's like you have some other AI models connected that do the generation process. So in the end, they are like the filter. So what they generate is also shown on your platform. So do you have any control about this?
We have control over which models we use. So for example, if Claude 3.7 is better at writing creative dialogue, but Grok 4.0 is better at doing an analytical scene and shot breakdown, then our story tech knows which model to use for which assignment. If a certain video model is stronger for animation while another video model is better for photorealistic, our orchestrating model goes to different models for different needs. So that's the short of it. And the fact that those models, some of them do a better job at protecting IP and others do a less good job protecting IP, that's our responsibility. And we are working on educating our own orchestrating model about IP issues, etc., and to handle them with grace and respect to the users.
I see. Sounds good. While we are waiting, so maybe for the generation, so This now a question. I really wondered if popcorn could be like the starting point of a new way to actually watch movies and to have some individualized entertainment. When it comes to AI, many people think of the idea and maybe are also afraid of the idea that in the future we don't need anything like a centralized movie industry. There are also some chances coming up with the decentralization of content creation, movie creation, and maybe the idea of something like streaming platform like Netflix is not only that you have to pick out of a lot of movies that maybe are suggested by an algorithm that knows what you're interested in or not, but the future could maybe be like creating in real time a movie just made for you. For example, if a tool learns that you are into dystopic science fiction movies, some neo-noir stuff, maybe you get every day, every night, a new generated Blade Runner movie just for you. So the system behind popcorn looks a bit like a really early stage of something like this. Is this something where you're heading to, or what you have in mind?
It's fascinating, and I will say a few things. One, what is the sort of future of what are the opportunities that AI movie making and agentic movie making open up? And you touched on two of them. One is, how will people engage with the media? Is it going to be like Netflix or something else? And two, if you fast forward into the future, is it like a personalized content that is coming at me? So on the first one, what's amazing is that so many more people will now become creators by definition. And if you're making a movie and I can tag you in my movie, and all of a sudden you and me are going on an adventure, we are two friends. This is something that was impossible before. Now we can participate, we can impact the movie, we can star in the movies, etc., etc. So that's fascinating. And especially with IP, now I can be in the trailer of the Tom Cruise movie, Mission Impossible. Okay. And there's a whole social playbook there around engaging users. Even if the quality is not that great, the mere fact that I'm there with you and together we are roasting Paul, it is good for us. It is value for us because we have psychological and emotional attachment to that piece of media. And so that's on the social front. On the hyper personalization front, you are right. The core technology here is idea to movie, concept to movie, liking to movie, dream to movie, algorithm to movie. And it means that, in the Matrix, when you were sitting there and connected and whatnot and living a virtual reality, that was produced to you in real time, etc. And that is not such a fantasy when you start looking at technologies like this, because indeed we can have a bot that continues to produce the dopamine inducing stuff, just like you're scrolling on TikTok. Instead of scrolling in real time, it gives you the next thing and the next thing and the next thing based on what it knows and what it's generating in real time, connected to your Neuralink brain needs. So it's quite science fiction, but we can see how technologies like this in the future can devolve into that.
Do you think that in the future we will? I mean, doesn't sound like when I hear what you said, but do you think that we will still look at screens, or that it will be something like a more immersive experience?
We all. Your guess is as good as mine, Markus. You're in the industry as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I always was fascinated by the idea of really diving deep into something like virtual realities, like this 80s science fiction movie stuff, like Strange Days or something, or also somehow Matrix. But I was also kind of afraid of this whole technology even before social media and the whole consumption of like fast consumed content evolved, And when I see how it changed people's behavior and how people get addicted, I'm kind of afraid that we maybe get lost in something like a permanent simulation. Or maybe we already took the step long time ago, and this is what we created. I don't know,
Yeah, exactly. I think that the fact that we are all talking about the matrix and about the simulation is really a leading indicator to the power of this AI technology and how fast we expect it to move. And for everybody who's listening and watching, there's a reason why there's so much buzz and so much attention and so many billions of dollars going into this every day, because it is really the most disruptive, most revolutionary technology ever invented. It is compounding all the internet revolution, but is probably much bigger than that. It stands on its shoulder, but it expands on it.
Yeah, I remember like 2 years ago when I started with my AI workshops, and some partner institutes, for example, asked me for some quotes to make some ads for the workshops and so on. I created this sentence that AI in film is the biggest innovation and revolution since the invention of the sound in cinema. And today I think this was kind of a stupid idea. I mean, it's bigger than the invention of films itself, bigger than a step like the internet or the industrialization maybe. So it could be the beginning of a completely different way to experience life and reality. So, and I think the other innovations were kind of linear processes. I mean, with the industrialization, okay, you can just upscale your business. You need another structure with your workers or with your factories and something, but it was something you could somehow predict. And when it comes to technical evolution in film, okay, so we have sound now, we need different movie theaters, we need a sound system here, there will be an evolution of the sound system, we have different production situations and different issues to deal with. Okay, but it was kind of linear. You knew what's coming. Even with image quality, you know what was next when you changed the aspect ratio into CinemaScope, for example, or had some innovations with the color or something. Everything was kind of clear what's next, or how you can foresee what's the next step. But with AI, it's the first time we have no clue.
Yeah. It's really crazy. When I went to film school back in the early 90s, they taught us how to create film by splicing and connecting the film. And the same with the audio tracks. And then connecting it all in a moviola. I think I was probably the last class in 1992 that learned how to do that. But the world is certainly moving very fast.
Yeah, we also had the chance to shoot on actual film material with all the iReflex cameras. Honestly, when I did those exercises with doing this complicated light check, with the old technology, I really hated the exercise because it was really the beginning of studying, and I was so on fire. I just wanted to make my movie, my first short film that you can do in this time when you study there, and all the stuff seemed to be kind of useless. But when I did it, I knew, okay, there will be a day I will be really grateful that I had the chance to really work with this mechanical, let's say, way of filmmaking. And yeah, today it feels like a memory made 50 years ago, but it's like 8 years ago. So it's okay, so what's going on in the Red Pyramid bunker in Las Vegas?
Let's check it out.
So finally, we had a short moment to wait for it, but now the movie is ready, and I can't wait to see Underground Empire.
Beneath Vegas glitter, ancient eyes watch, waiting.
Every human breath monitored, every heartbeat cataloged.
Conquest builds appetite. Hand me that brontosaurus.
Perfect camouflage. They gamble while we orchestrate.
World leaders will kneel before dawn.
This Rex tastes like victory better than Kepler 432.
Phase 1 launches at sunrise. They'll never see it coming.
10 billion eyes under our watch. Resistance is extinct.
Above dice roll. Below, fates are sealed.
Tomorrow we harvest fresh meat, a whole planet.
Tonight we feast as gods. Tomorrow we rule as kings.
The house always wins. But tonight, something darker holds the cards. But tonight, something darker holds the cards.
Wow. Impressive.
The prompt was this right here.
I'm gonna read it again because I had so aliens make a plan to run the world from a secret military bunker hidden under a casino in Las Vegas. They are able to observe everyone through their secret cameras. They are eating a dinosaur for dinner. I only saw a small piece of the dinosaur, but the eating process itself looked kind of convincing. So what I noticed is, for example, the voiceover sometimes was better and sometimes was a bit artificial. So is it possible to also modify the voices? Or can I change it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can click on any of the characters and go right here. And if you don't like the voice selections that are recommended by the system, you can upload your own custom voice.
I see. Okay, great. So I can't wait to play around with this. And if you also want to check out Popcorn and want to play around with Popcorn, just hit popcorn.co. I will also put a link in the description. Yeah, if you enjoyed this episode and learned something about AI and filmmaking, so please subscribe to the channel and we're going to meet again.
So I thank you for the conversation. It was fun to talk to you. And good luck with Popcorn.
Thank you so much, Markus. This was a lot of fun, and talk soon.